This is what time, effort and dedication looks like in game form. Hi, I'm Tom and this is Horizon Zero Dawn. And let's get one fact straight from the beginning. This game is made by Guerrilla, which are not only the creators of the Killzone franchise, but also the only Dutch game company that is worth a damn. Also, I'm Dutch, so therefore there will probably be some small country bias when I tell you that you're a fool for not having bought a copy of this game already. And that being said, I feel that it is pretty hard to explain Horizon without giving it the recognition it deserves. Because saying that it is Far Cry 4 but with robot animals would give Far Cry way more credit than it is worth. But tell me if I'm wrong in the comments below. If you've played Horizon, where would you place it in the rank of the open world genre? Or where do you think it belongs if you haven't played it? Anyway, let's dive in. Let me begin by saying the obvious, and that the game looks stunning. Absolutely gorgeous, with a fine eye for detail, and which was a real surprise for me, no frame drops, hard crashes or bugs during my entire playthrough. If I had to place it in the graphics scale, it would only come second right behind The Order 1886, but that game was trash in every other place, so it might as well be put in the garbage where it belongs. But having that said, I'm actually impressed with what the regular PS4 can accomplish. I can imagine that the PS4 Pro would only be better, of course. Horizon manages to get a lot of the detail right, and it is just a trend that has been going on for a while now. Like Battlefield 1, where the graphics were just over the top, and I don't want this trend to stop. The graphics are only helping the setting of the game, which as well is something that I've never seen before. Horizon Zero Dawn is set in the future, where the Earth went back to the primitive tribes, due to circumstances I won't tell here because of spoilers. But you can take my word for it, that it is more than just a cool PR move. The robots all have a purpose to fulfill in the created world, which is all supported back into the lore. And the lore is interesting as hell too. And how do I know that? Most of the lore is usually docked away in some reading file nobody cares about, right? Hell no! Horizon made most of them audio files, so you can listen to them while playing in-game. No worry about missing interesting lore when you don't feel like reading a dictionary word of text. Now on to the actual gameplay, and to put it as short as simple, it is amazing. And strangely a bit like Dark Souls, in the sense that you only take 3 to 4 hits before dying. Now, you don't have to worry about getting slain by hideous monsters, but you do have to realize that humans aren't the strongest thing walking around. Especially when there's giant robot dinosaurs!
Are you serious? Are you serious?
All the enemies in this game possess the ability to fuck you up easily if you don't pay attention. And each enemy has a wide range of different attacks. The robot dinosaur, like you just saw for instance, is capable of doing some 10 or so different attacks, each of which are hard hitting. So you better prepare yourself each fight, because aside from boss battles, you are never faced by just one enemy. Which also forces you to make a plan of attack instead of just rushing in all by yourself. Speaking of yourself, you play as Aloy in this game. And yes, Aloy is a cheap yet clever pun from the word alloy, which the robots are made of, but it actually feels like a real name instead of a shitty pun throughout the entire game. I do say though, in my opinion, this is the best representation of a woman in a game yet. She is smart, realistic, down to earth, and thank God she's not a little crybaby. You can even choose during conversation if she should be compassionate or just hit the others with hard truths. And that is a really big deal because it helps you relate to her in a way that you want, which really helps in a game where you are trying to get the answers that she is asking. Connection to the characters is beyond important, and luckily it is done well here. Not only to you as the main character, but also to quite a number of side characters, which leaves a good mark on my experience with the game. As for the story itself, it pulls you really in at about the halfway point. The first half of the game is more about establishing the world that has been created and how to deal with the threats along the way. More like a normal introduction, but still enjoyable. But then at the halfway point, they start to tease and give you little bits of information about why the world is as it is. And then it just had me. It was a concept I have not seen before, and it was well paced, so there are no long boring stretches. And the extra audio files to give you more lore, to keep you hooked while you were playing instead of watching cutscenes. The game started to grip me more and more and gave me answers to the questions I didn't even know I wanted to ask. I can't applaud Guerrilla enough. Superior Dutch game design, I guess. Well, there's only one really big negative I can give Horizon. The rest can all be dismissed as terrible nitpicking and will therefore be left out. Because you don't want to hear about the one time I forgot to buy a new item and was therefore fucked for one boss battle, of which you could just walk out of, but I was way too stubborn to do anyway. Anyway, the really one negative I can give Horizon is that it is a PS4 exclusive. It is good for nothing, and if a PS4 can run this game, then so could a PC and so could an Xbox One. There was probably a marketing move by Sony made here and did nothing more for Guerrilla than just shoot themselves in the foot and deny themselves sales. A very stupid move from my point of view. And maybe this is not a nitpicking thing, but the game has very little replay value, seeing that it isn't as filled as Fallout 4 or Skyrim. I feel however that this can be dismissed, seeing that a single playthrough of the game and all the side missions is already enough to keep you happily entertained for 30 plus hours. But if you think that that's not enough for $60, then I guess you could view it as a negative. Horizon Zero Dawn is a must-buy, simple as that. The only problem is that you need a PS4 to play it, and I don't think that this game is as much of a system seller as Sony wants to be. However, if you own a PS4, you can't give yourself enough time to think twice. Just buy it, or split it with a friend and be even better off. The quality of Horizon Zero Dawn is top-notch, in both the graphics department and in the gameplay department as well. I dare to say, I think this might be Game of the Year material. At least in the open world genre, if not some other one. Horizon Zero Dawn shows us that even in this day and age, it is still possible to make something completely original and fun, which is still the reason that I'll say Horizon Zero Dawn is well worth the money.